Matt Groening is a time traveler. I'm telling you this, like, I can assure you he's a time traveler. He has predicted too many things in his life on The Simpsons for it not to be a time traveler. Like, come on, like, the amount of things we're about to get into some, because this is me reacting to some of The Simpsons' best predictions that have come true. So let's get into it. Put your guesses in now, what you think's going to be in there. Without further ado, shall we get straight into it? First, let's have some pina colada milk. Yes, I have drunk this whole thing to myself.
I'm trying to play virtual pool.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 times
Shout
The
out
Simpsons
Watch Mojo
predicted
for
the future.
this compilation. Let's hopefully it'll be a
For
great
this
one.
list, we're looking at times when jokes or scenes from the long-running sitcom played out in real life. Which joke did you
Which
think
happened
would
many
become
times.
reality one day? Let us know in the comments below.
What one would I think? Well, I know what ones have. I don't know what ones I thought, because I was just a kid. I didn't think any of this was going to happen. I thought it was an alternate universe, but there you
Number
go.
20, Disney buys Fox. This episode from season 10 aired on November 8th,
Oh, yeah,
1998,
of course. Yeah,
long
'cause it's
before
on
Disney
Disney
and
Plus,
Fox
so of course
considered an
Disney
acquisition.
bought it.
At the end of the episode, a sign appears that reads 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Co. According to the episode's writer, Richard Appel, the joke was written out of, quote, a general sense that soon Disney would own us all.
You've got to keep our secret, Homer.
I mean, Disney owns a bloody lot right now. I mean, you go on Disney Plus, and this is no ad, I promise you. I mean, if you want to sponsor me, that's fine. But yeah, the amount of stuff Disney has on there now is amazing. I mean, like, it's great for us to be able to go and watch all that different content. But you know, they got all the Star Wars, and you know, they got Wall-E. They've got Cars. Well, obviously they got Cars and like all the usual Disney stuff. But the fact they got Simpsons now as well, and all these other series, is crazy. They're big time. They're gone clear.
He definitely wasn't wrong when it came to Fox. Nearly 20 years later, on December 14th, 2017, Disney announced that it was buying 21st Century Fox for just
$52.4 billion. Oh, Disney got racks, you know. Oh, yeah. That's nuts. Disney. I said they gone clear, but that's nuts. $52.4 billion. Oi, lend me a tenner, please. Come on,
over
man.
$52 billion.
That's
And with that,
nuts.
The Simpsons officially
Imagine the
became
amount of
Disney
things you
characters.
could buy
The
with it.
2021 Plus-iversary short showed just
Yep.
how strange and
Yeah,
funny
you
it
can
is
see the
to see
subscribe
Springfield
subscribe
residents
to the
hang out
channel
with Mouse
below,
House characters.
my channel, not theirs.
I
mean,
wish
you can
I
subscribe
was
to
your
theirs, it's great as
sidekick.
well.
He's mine!
Oh, yo! That's a terrible impression, I'm sorry.
Number 19,
Goofy.
smartwatches. In the episode Lisa's Wedding,
Oh, yeah. 1995, they predicted smartwatches, and yeah, look. Now, I mean, I don't have one, but
we see the titular
I
character
don't
prepare
really
for a
need one, I
union
don't see
in the
the
year
point much,
2010.
but
To prove
it's
that they're
cool.
in the future, her fiancé, Hugh Parkfield, speaks into a wrist device that seemingly functions as both a watch and telephone.
Oh, blast!
Yeah,
Don't come
I say
Modern
blast.
audiences would probably think nothing of it today. However, the episode aired in 1995. Smartwatches were still in
what
their
the hell,
infancy then.
what's
While
that all
similar
about?
devices did pop up in mediums like spy movies, the idea that an average citizen would have access to a phone watch was relatively original. It turned out that the
I mean, I
Simpsons
guess,
wasn't
like,
far
phones-
off, because the first
Well,
smartwatch
to be fair, phones started off massive and then got smaller and smaller and smaller, so that makes sense. But now, more recently, they got bigger and bigger again. So, I don't know. Maybe you just have a massive iPad. You just like imagine you just walking around just like this all the time. Like, yeah, I'm talking to you on my watch, and then you got like some fat phone like this. Oh, I'm on the phone. That's like what's his name sketch? I've seen a sketch of that somewhere.
Hello! What? No, I'm at the cash point. I'm on my iPad. Yeah. I don't know if it's a phone, but it's just sexy, yeah.
It's
that
irrelevant.
functioned as a telephone was introduced in 1999.
Oh,
Don't worry, honey. I guarantee your father will behave.
Bubbles.
Mom, it's a picture phone. Oh, this? Oh, I just got a touch of the rheumatiz.
Number 18, really old fan mail. During season 2's
Really old
Brush with
fan mail.
Greatness, Beatles drummer Ringo Starr appeared as himself and responded to some very old fan mail.
They took the time to write me, and I don't care if it takes me
I tell you what, I can't like hear his voice without thinking about Thomas, like the Tank and Gin, because he used to do the commentary on all of that, and I was again childhood. So yeah, I just pictured a little
another
train
20
space
years.
for him.
I'm going to answer every one of them.
This includes finally
Half of them
answering
could be dead,
Marge,
man.
who had sent him some correspondence all the way back in high school. It turns out that this plot wasn't that
Imagine
unrealistic.
only going
While the
through
real-life occurrence
now.
didn't involve Ringo Starr, it did bring in Paul McCartney. The legendary musician learned about a tape that was recorded by two fans back in 1963. Sometime after he got it, the BBC helped the older fans get McCartney's written response. Although it
Wow.
took 50 years, they seemed to appreciate him writing back.
Dear Marge,
I mean,
Thank-
why do they not read it? I mean, I suppose they don't have time and they get a lot of it, so they can't go through everything all the time. But then is fan mail even still a thing now? Like, do people still do that, or do you just like you just ping them a DM or comment on posts nowadays, and usually more often than not you get responses to a lot of stuff because it's a lot easier to, because it's just ping a message quite quickly. It's like longer if you're writing a message.
it's for the fab painting of yours truly. I hung it on me wall. You're quite an
on
artist.
me wall.
Number 17, legalized marijuana in Canada. The Simpsons managed
Marijuana.
to predict the
We
future.
do not condone this illegal lettuce stuff. Do not smoke, kids.
And take shots at the American healthcare system in one delightful plot.
And that's why I personally thank God we pay too much for drugs.
What?
I mean, the right amount.
When Mr. Burns cancels the prescription drug plan, many other companies follow suit. After people realize they can't afford medication, they hoof it over
Oh,
to Canada
and
to
then
get what
they-
they need. The journey
they had
paves
a
the way
car
for Ned
stacked
to meet
out.
his Canadian doppelganger. During the encounter, the Springfield
Happy
native was
Italy.
offered some legal reeferino.
Say, would you like to pop on a
Reeferino.
reeferino? It's legal here.
They warned me Satan would be attractive. Let's go.
While the green stuff wasn't legal in Canada at the time, it didn't take too long. Reeferino was officially given the okay.
I like how they've done the flag. Yeah, that's very good. Instead of the maple leaf, you done yeah.
Across Canada in October 2018. That was nearly 14 years after the episode aired in January 2005.
I can't say I really know
Number
about
16,
this 'cause
The
I'm
Shop.
not up with American news, and I'm not into
Hard.
smoking a doobie.
Wow, you can see into the present.
Now we'll see what the future holds.
The writers must have really been looking into a crystal ball up with Lisa's
They
wedding in
treat
the
that work.
90s. When they weren't dreaming up
Memory of a
futuristic
tree.
phone watches, the animators were plopping in buildings that hadn't existed yet. While Lisa is in London, viewers are given a glimpse of various famous landmarks. It was pretty normal to see Big Ben and the Tower
This shall
Bridge.
block.
However,
Imagine
there's
Big
also
Ben
a
being
pointy skyscraper. In March 2009,
They could be anything, buddy.
work started on what would eventually become the
Loose-
Shard.
I think that's a
It would
loose one,
ultimately
but
become the tallest building in the
I'll let you
entire
off.
country. Not only does the Shard bear a startling resemblance to the tower seen in The Simpsons, but
Unless
it's
the
even in the right
Shard
location.
copied
Now
them.
that's
Who
just
knows?
eerie.
Oh,
That's
it's
another
good
theory.
to hear a boisterous American laugh.
Number 15, autocorrect. When Dolph wrote Beat Up Martin into his Apple Newton in
I think
1994,
autocorrect. I don't know. I feel like people could have predicted that. Like, surely that was always going to be a thing to make people's lives easier. But
the phrase hilariously turned
props to
into
Simpsons
Eat
being
Up
first.
Martha.
Hey, Dolph, take a member on your Newton. Beat up
oh,
Martin.
this is funny. Yeah. Oh, what did it change it to? Eat up Martha.
This
Piece of
was
crap.
a joke
And-
aimed at
and-
the Apple.
And the funny thing is, autocorrect always scams you all the time. With like, it generally is like that as well. It's not even that good. It's the fact they actually got it to be crap, like it is in real life, is that
Newton,
again.
which was
they're nuts.
notoriously bad at recognizing handwriting. But it also predicted the issues that
If it's bad at recognizing the handwriting, it's gonna have a field day with my handwriting. I need to find me one of these and write on it and see what it thinks I write, because I'm telling you, I might as well be a doctor if I was smart enough, because my handwriting is bad as theirs.
autocorrect would bring
If
to
only I had the
handheld
smarts for it.
devices. Technically, autocorrect was around by 1994 in programs like Microsoft Word. However, it wouldn't be until 2007 that autocorrect became a common and notorious problem for handheld
So
devices.
it was
The
so
joke
it's again a half kind of thing, because it was already there, but they just kind of took it a bit further. So I guess
Actually did affect real-life
obviously
development as well. Apparently, Apple developers made sure that autocorrect worked as well as it could after being lightly mocked in the
well, you didn't make it work good enough, did ya? You scamming bunch of...
episode.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Number 14.
Why is that me though? I mean, I passed English, but God knows how. I mean,
The mass of the
I
Higgs
am
boson.
mini Ralph.
The writers of The Simpsons
That
are
is my inner
extremely
child.
smart.
Excuse me, are you a student at this school?
I think it's pretty obvious that I am. Go school!
So much so that they pretty much figured out the mass of the Higgs boson particle 14 years early. In the episode The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer becomes an inventor and writes a complicated math equation on a chalkboard. This complicated series of numbers and symbols was penned by episode writer David X. Cohen and his astronomer friend David Sheminovich. Physicist Simon Singh later claimed that Homer's equation closely correlates to the real mass of the Higgs boson particle. While the episode aired,
Is anyone lost with Higgs, by whatever the effect they said, particles? I don't really understand this. I mean, I'm cottoned onto science and maths and that, but
aired in 1997. The mass wasn't officially discovered until 2012. We guess Homer's much smarter than we thought, sometimes.
They're on
Oh, is this his
ninjas.
chair?
That's really ingenious, Dad.
Number 13,
That is pretty
the
good, to be
Roy
fair.
Horn tiger attack. When
If we had those in school, that would have saved so many people from just hitting the deck. I mean, you always had the teachers like, oh, I always remember someone that fell and hit their head and died and la-di-da-di-da. Why didn't you implement these chairs in school then? Like, if you hear about all these bloody stories, like, they just didn't want us to swing around and mess around. Just, like, put these on our chairs, then we could just lean back and we won't have to worry about falling. But I think I've seen people fall in school, but no one ever, got hurt.
Springfield legalizes gambling, Mr. Burns opens a casino and hires Gunter and Ernst to stage an animal show.
A round of applause, please, for Anastasia. She loves show business. So much nicer than the savagery of the jungle, yeah?
In a horrifying turn of events, they are attacked by their white tiger Anastasia. Even more horrifying is what came after. These two are modeled after Siegfried and Roy. This real-life duo formerly ran a highly popular Vegas show at the Mirage Resort and Casino. Around 10 years after the episode aired, Roy Horn was attacked by a tiger named Manticore while performing a show. He unfortunately suffered...
Yeah, don't work with animals or kids. That's the two things I've always been told. Don't work with animals, don't work with kids, because you can't predict them.
Many serious injuries. While Horn survived the gruesome incident, the performer had to leave show business after the attack.
What are you gonna do? Start your own casino? In your treehouse? And get all your little friends to come? I'd like to see that!
Number 12. Lady Gaga's halftime show. As the title suggests, the 2012 Lisa Goes Gaga episode sees pop star Lady Gaga visiting Springfield and winning the young Simpsons' heart.
I just can't ignore a billboard in pain. We're stopping in Springfield.
But
no buts.
During her musical performance, the musician wears a bluish-silver outfit
joke.
and flies over the
That shows I'm still a child. I'm after that flippant joke. It's literally built for a child. And
crowd in a harness. The scene initially came off as a satirical love letter to Gaga's outrageous and bombastic style. However, it eventually became a reflection of real life. When Lady Gaga performed the halftime show at Super Bowl 51 in 2017, the similarities to the Springfield concert were striking. Lady Gaga wore an outfit...
Okay. Here's one for you. What if Lady Gaga, the real Lady Gaga, what if she watched the episode and thought, I know, I'm going to base mine on that. So,
very similar to the one seen on the animated show. Additionally,
she doesn't have,
she
like...
just so happened to hover over the crowd in a harness.
Cannons,
What's wrong, honey? Please, I've had enough attention for one day.
Number 11. Airplane Restaurant. Poor Homer and Marge couldn't even enjoy a nice night out.
Look, honey, I clipped on my tie.
Is this actually just
all by
a restaurant or is it like
And
a
look as
plane that
handsome as
flies
the
at
day
the
we
same
were
time?
married.
Oh, happy anniversary.
This might be quite interesting.
Marge.
Their plans to visit
But
the
it's gonna
Gilded
be
Truffle
American,
for their wedding anniversary were ruined when Grandpa failed to show up to babysit. Eventually,
Oh,
they're forced to skip out on the fancy
Good idea.
restaurant and are taken to visit.
I mean, it makes sense. A lot of quirky restaurants are about and people are trying to be different. So I guess it does
Up
make
and
sense to have
Buffet.
the airplane
This airplane-themed restaurant simulates turbulence and serves leftovers in ARF bags. Since the episode aired in 1998,
ARF bags.
various airplanes have been converted.
Bath bags, because they call it bath, yeah. Okay, I'm
imported into restaurants. These are located across the globe and serve food ranging from McDonald's to steak. Hopefully, most
No
of
way, there's a McDonald's one. Oh, it's in bloody New Zealand. I guess I go to New Zealand, boys, just to try this Mackies.
real restaurants stay stationary.
It probably won't be better. Imagine keeping a cutlery like that. It's so unorganized and annoying.
Number 10. Nobel Prize winner Bengt Holmstrom. A 2010 Simpsons story saw Martin, Milhouse, Database, and Lisa bet on the winners of the various Nobel Prizes.
Surely his name is not Database. Like, I was
We're
questioning,
watching the
surely
Nobel Prize announcements
on
live
his
from
birth
Stockholm.
certificate, it's not Database.
When viewers are given a brief glimpse of the betting pool, they see that Milhouse has bet on Bengt Holmstrom to win economics. But Martin won the bet by picking Jagdish Bhagwati. However, Milhouse was close. He was just 6 years off. In 2016, both Holmstrom and Oliver Hart won Nobel Prizes in economic sciences, quote, for their contributions to contract theory.
Maybe they
While
just knew it was
we
always
will
gonna
not try to explain what that is, we're sure Milhouse already
people,
knows.
dunno.
He's clearly smart enough to predict the future.
It's time for the noblest Nobel Prize of all, the Peace Prize.
I would kill for that.
Number 9. Daenerys burns King's Landing. Game of Thrones had a real stinker of an ending. So bad that it was an actual joke on The Simpsons. The Surfsons is the 29th season premiere and takes place in an alternate medieval kingdom called Springfieldia.
I remember this
water
episode,
soup
though.
again?
Now it's Crusoe.
The end of the episode
That
sees
could have
Homer
3
reviving
eyes.
a dragon, which proceeds to rain fire on a nearby village. Look familiar? Nearly 2 years later, Game of Thrones would feature a very similar scene when Daenerys used Drogon
yeah,
to
I never
raise
watched
King's
Game of
Landing.
Thrones, so I wouldn't
This story development was
wouldn't know the
heavily
story,
criticized by fans and critics alike, and it didn't
I
take
remember
social media
getting
long to
loads of,
scream.
I remember loads of people hating on it and seeing all that, but I think I'm glad I
Simpsons
missed
did
that.
it.
I didn't watch
Look, the dragon is burning our village.
I love our life.
Number 8. Yard Work Simulator. When the Simpson family
Oh, I tell you what. Say what you like about doing chores and yard work, but simulator games and that is just so satisfying. Yeah, you could go do it and you actually be doing stuff, but that's no fun. Doing simulator games, there's something about them. They are so much fun. I mean, maybe I need to start doing more simulator games on my gaming channel. Go subscribe to that to
visits
check
Colonel
out some
Texas
simulator
Traveling
games, maybe.
Carnival, Bart is drawn to a virtual reality game called Yard Work Simulator. Marge hilariously informs him that he can do real work like this at home.
I want to go on the yard work simulator.
Yeah, again, like you say, you could just do this in real life, but it's a simulator. It's a bit different. It's something about simulators that are just so much better.
But when they ask you to do yard work,
Naturally, real effort doesn't seem that appealing to Bart. But things have definitely changed since this episode aired in 1998. Modern gaming is full of simulator experiences.
there's so
Through
many
consoles, PCs, and smartphones, players can do seemingly boring chores digitally. There's even
just
options to
more fun.
perform these tasks in virtual reality. While the games aren't for everyone, 90s Bart would be in heaven in the 21st century.
You chop my hands halfway off, and then I'll still have enough strength to chop.
get to work.
Number 7. Snake Clubbing. In the 4th
Snake
season episode
clubbing?
Whacking Day, the
What's
citizens
snake
of Springfield get together for an annual event in
Oh, so
which
it's
they
just, yeah,
round up
smacking
snakes
snake.
and eliminate them in the town square.
In a tradition that dates back to founding father Jebediah Springfield, every May 10th, local residents gather to drive snakes into the center of town and whack them to snake heaven.
This was
Any
reportedly
reason
influenced
why?
by real events called rattlesnake rodeos. Those events involve trading, releasing,
old
and
grandma, not
occasionally
the old
slaying the
grandma.
reptiles. But this episode predicted an even more violent occurrence. In 2013, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission started the Python Challenge.
And the Lord said, Whack ye all the serpents which crawl on their bellies, and thy town shall be a beacon unto others.
This event calls for Floridians to capture or
Oh, he's
eliminate
tied
as
him.
many
He's done him
Burmese
dirty. He's tied him
pythons
in a-
as possible
in a
for a
knot.
$10,000
Now what,
prize.
Snake?
In 2022, a competitor named Matthew Concepcion won by capturing 28 snakes.
This is so dangerous. It's so dodgy. Like, why is this even a thing? America, you're tapped, man. Why would you do that for entertainment? Like, I hope to God they are not venomous snakes. I assume they're not, but at the same time, a snake can still bite you, and you're gonna know about it. Like, I don't know. Just don't fuck with like snakes. They've got a song and everything. Oh Jesus!
Number 6,
God
The
save me.
Bloody Billboard. Itchy and Scratchy make their way onto the big screen in this episode from season 4.
You'll find it in the Itchy and Scratchy movie. Coming soon to a theater near you. 53% new footage.
Wow.
In order to promote their movie, the studio puts out a disgusting interactive billboard. It mainly dumps a red blood-like substance onto passersby
Straight on
and
ya.
into their
Aw,
cars.
savage.
A slight variation on this theme actually played out in 2008 in New Zealand. Back then, the state-owned TVNZ2 was promoting the television debut of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1.
It was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. And you wouldn't believe the celebrities who did cameos. Dustin Hoffman, Michael Jackson.
A giant billboard was erected in Auckland that saw a giant stream of blood spraying onto nearby prop cars. Luckily, no one in the vicinity reported that they were slathered in the liquid. The same cannot be said for the poor citizens of Springfield.
Like, you're just still getting people's
Number
past
5,
day.
the censoring of David. Few marble
Oh,
sculptures
yeah,
are
no,
as
this one,
popular
yeah,
as
no, yes.
Michelangelo's
Remember this
David.
one.
Get dressed, Marge. You've
I
got
mean, it's a flipping statue, for God's sake. It's been there for years. Now why are you censoring it? Like,
to
well,
lead our protest against this abomination.
But that's Michelangelo's David. It's a masterpiece.
It's filth.
In the second season episode, Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, David goes on a tour throughout the eastern United States and stops in Springfield. Some people take umbrage with the statue's nudity and attempt to censor it. There are people who even went so far as to cover it with a pair of jeans. With this gag,
Just
The
don't take
Simpsons
it then,
was
and
both
if they're gonna
satirizing the past and predicting the future. Various campaigns have attempted to cover up David since the episode aired. Incidents have arisen in 2001, 2014, and 2016. It's unknown whether more campaigns to conceal the statue's natural...
I mean, you can do what you want, but it's like such an old statue and it was built off the period. You can't just censor these things. I know you get, like, there's so many snowflakes in this world, but like, if you're a snowflake, just don't go flip and look at it, for God's sake. Just do your own thing and allow the statue.
form will pop up in the future.
I told you she was soft on full frontal nudity.
Number 4.
First of all, let's be. Second of all, I just thought, you go into, I don't know if you guys ever been into like stately home, old houses. They always have loads of pictures around, and quite often there is some stark ass naked people in the pictures with full titties and everything. Like, you're just gonna start censoring all those because again, they're worth a lot. Artwork is worth so much money. Like, you can't just start ruining it. Because then it's just not worth anything, and you're just taking away from what it is. Like,
Gym mat food. After Principal Skinner makes some massive budget cuts at the school, the kids get really shoddy lunches.
You cut back on everything. Salaries,
Cardboard
supplies, the
lunches.
food. I don't care what you say, I can taste the newspaper.
The educator and the cafeteria staff even colluded to
Say
use
cardboard
shredded
newspapers
newspapers
together.
and gym mats as cheap food filler. In
No way.
2014, the public learned that many major fast food chains were using azodicarbonamide in their bread.
what? Did someone explain what is azobolamide, whatever they said? Subway removing controversial. Can't see the workers under that company taking it. Can
This
you please
compound
explain?
is used as an oxidizing agent with flour. It's also used to make vinyl foam. Ironic.
Oh fuck! There is no way you're telling me Subway. You're lacking. I hope this is. I assume this is old news now. Like, they don't do it anymore. But really, like, they literally used the same stuff they put in yoga mats in that. Oh my god! Talk about trying to like extend your money out.
That is what gym and yoga mats are made
can't
of.
feed us
So,
yoga
in
mats,
an indirect
Jesus.
way, real restaurants were taking a page out of Skinner's playbook.
Was it? How's it been
Fortunately,
now?
bad publicity caused many of these restaurants to drop azodicarbonamide as an ingredient.
There's very little meat in these gym mats.
Number 3, grease thefts. Is there anything that people won't steal? In Lard of the Dance, Homer and Bart conspire
Why
to
you
sell
sell
grease
grease?
for a profit. Upon realizing that everyday bacon grease won't do the trick, the duo starts stealing grease from the school and Krusty Burger.
Okay, boy. This is where all the hard work, sacrifice, and painful scaldings pay off.
The latter attempt even gets them in trouble with the mafia-like Acme Grease and Shovel Company. America saw a spate of grease thefts throughout 2012
No
when
way.
the price of used cooking oil skyrocketed. In one instance,
Didn't
2
realize it.
thieves stole grease from a McDonald's.
Went out like
Honestly, we do have to wonder if the real thieves got the
At least Mackey's, like, do the regen, like they run their lorries or something on the grease. So at
The
least they
idea
actually
from
reuse
watching
it.
The Simpsons.
This better work, boy. I don't want to wind up working on your
They could
mother's
have got the idea from
new
Simpsons
farm.
in my watch.
Number
It's good
2,
and done it.
Blinky the Three-Eyed Fish. The Simpsons finds
Oh
a
yeah,
source
he
of
actually
humor
found a
in
real
many
three-eyed
things.
fish. This is one I never believed would actually come to light, like a three-eyed fish. You just never think that would be a thing. But then again,
1, 2,
you think in the
3.
The deformed fish was
big,
caught near
oh
a
my
nuclear
God, what is
power
going on
plant
with
that
this?
is found to
In the in like real deep ocean, there is some like, tap things in there. There could be all sorts in the bottom there. Like, so you suppose it's always possible, but you just never think you'd find those stuff because no one ever goes down there.
have 342 safety violations worth over $50 million.
I suppose that's normal background radiation, the kind you'd find in any well-maintained nuclear facility.
This remained a silly joke until 2011. During that year, fishermen in Cordoba, Argentina caught a three-eyed wolffish. Sure enough, the lake was used as a
So is this just a one-off fish, or is this like actually
dumping ground for a nuclear power plant facility's hot water? We wouldn't recommend
so
making a fillet out.
They found it they found it in a nuclear
Of
lake.
that cache.
makes sense.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and
Yep,
ring the
be-
bell
be
to get
sure to
notified
bosh
about
the
our latest
subscribe
videos.
button now
you
to
have
my
the option
channel
to be notified
and,
for
yeah,
occasional videos
notify
or
and all
all
that
of them.
good stuff.
If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch. Hart lives as an aspiring rock star. Lisa is president of the United States. She inherits a massive financial problem that was caused by the last president, real estate mogul Donald Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
This episode was produced during his presidential campaign of 2000, when his victory seemed extremely unlikely. However, it stopped being a joke when Trump was declared the 45th president of the United States. The first episode following the announcement contained a chalkboard gag that read, quote, "Being right sucks." This drawing showed that the writers are not always happy about what they predict.
If I'm gonna bail the country out, I'll have to raise taxes. But in my speech, I'd like to avoid calling it a painful emergency tax.
Just before I go, I have found some more interesting. There's a load of the same predictions on there, but I found some more interesting ones.
8 p.m. Eastern, only at watchmojo.com/play. Number 10, Richard Branson in space. In an
Richard
episode
Branson
not
in space.
focused
He
on
hasn't-
space travel,
Has he been to space yet? He wants to go to space and he's trying. I don't think he has.
we get a blink and you'll miss it prediction. Homer and Lisa go on an adventure to prove the ownership of a priceless painting Homer bought from Kirk Van Houten.
Painting's only $20.
Oh, please, homie.
I'll throw in the tiny violins.
Tiny violins. So how's this going to Richard Branson?
It looks great.
They travel to Puerto Rico where they encounter an art forger named Klaus Ziegler who confirms the painting is a forgery he painted. When Lisa claims that what he's doing is dishonest, Ziegler counters that his works bring pleasure to people all over the world.
Beauty is beauty. My forgeries give pleasure to people all over the world. The only real question to ask about art, whether it...
Oh, I was going to say, how does this relate to Richard Branson being in space, but he's just chilling in the space with, in a ship with his painting?
In the Louvre or on a freshman's wall at Cal State Fullerton is, did it move you?
During that moment, there is a brief cutaway of Richard Branson on a spacecraft. This depiction was 7 years before Branson's spaceflight with Virgin Galactic.
Oh, so he has actually been to space. How did I forget about this?
Oh, my God.
That does look fun.
Number 9,
I don't know if
Tiger Attack.
Oh, we've seen this, haven't we?
Number 5, NSA spying. Once the
Oh,
townsfolk
I
discovered
thought
that
NASA spying for some reason. NSA spying.
Homer was responsible for the EPA enclosing the town under a large dome, an angry mob forms to confront the Simpson family. They're able to escape through a sinkhole and go on the lam.
What do we do?
Now we run.
They end up in Alaska,
But no one's been
but
put in a
after
big dome,
several
right?
months away, Marge and the kids can no longer stay and head back to save Springfield. While on their way back, it's revealed that the NSA has a large network dedicated to listening to people's communications.
Oh, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
There's a lot of people that say the government's listening to you. I mean, they might be listening to my video right now. They might be in my camera. Like, that's what a lot of people say. They think they're in the cameras and in your laptop. So be careful what you're watching late at night.
If that isn't scary enough, in 2013, Edward Snowden came forward revealing the NSA's surveillance programs.
NSA and the intelligence community in general is focused on getting intelligence wherever it can, by any means possible, that it believes on the grounds of sort of a self-certification that they serve the
Why does he kind of look like that robot dude a second ago? Where did he go?
Government is listening to everybody's conversation.
This guy.
If that
There you
isn't
go.
scary
That's
enough,
him.
in
The clown, it's
2013,
him.
Edward Snowden
Telling
came
ya.
forward
Just get red
revealing
eyes
the
in there.
NSA's surveillance
It's him.
programs.
NSA and the intelligence community in general is focused on getting intelligence wherever it can, by any means possible, that it believes on the grounds of sort of a self-certification that they serve the national interest.
The Simpsons predicted...
No one. You're spying on us, you creeps.
Number 3, the Titan disaster.
Oh, this is more recent.
Homer
This is
finds
more
out
like
that Grandpa might not be his
something
father
that's
after a
actually
letter
happened
to
in real
Mona
life
from a
more
former
recently.
lover is discovered. Homer tracks down Mason Fairbanks, the man who could be his real dad.
Remember
I think you're my
the Simpsons.
pappy.
I do remember the Simpsons episode, but
I found this letter you wrote to my mom.
them happening, the submarine going down with a load of rich people, and I don't really remember that happening in Simpsons.
Dear God, I always dreamed this day would come. And now that it's here, there are so many feelings
Fairbanks spends his time salvaging valuables from sunken ships. The two dive into the ocean with submersibles searching for treasure, where Homer's vehicle becomes trapped and his oxygen runs out.
What do I do? But he gets out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey!
In 2023, OceanGate's submersible Titan went on a voyage to view the wreckage of the Titanic. Many people noted the similarities between the two situations when the ship was first reported missing.
Is that really the same thing? Because there wasn't, like the real life, it had a submarine, a load of people went down trying to find Titanic and that, and then it died, it died tragically and stuff, but Homer got stuck, but he gets saved.
Fortunately, the search for the Titan ended in tragedy when the ship imploded and its debris was located a few days later.
The ship returning today after taking the Titan sub to sea, losing contact an hour and 45 minutes later. All 5 passengers on board instantly killed in a catastrophic...
Wait, so I forgot about this. So there's one quite young guy and then everyone else is decent age. I'm not saying that's right, but still. And they're all blokes as well, all guys. Like, I mean, it's horrible either way. Like, I couldn't believe this happened. But the fact that there's just one guy within all these guys, it's quite mad.
Catastrophic implosion.
Number 2, Trump's
Oh, this is the one
election
I was on
victory.
about.
Few
The sign
could
dropped
have seen
and
Donald
everything,
Trump
like,
winning the White House in
everything the same. This
2016.
one always
That is,
baffled me as
except
a
for The
kid when this
Simpsons.
actually happened.
While at a Native American casino, Bart is shown a vision of his potential future if he doesn't change his deceitful ways. In it, Bart is a 40-year-old slacker rooming with Ralph Wiggum.
Hey, Bart. Any clean towels? Nah, use this. I'm sick of having to dry myself with a newspaper. You could at least do some laundry. I pay the rent.
Dude, you know I'm good for it. I'll have plenty of money when my lawsuit pays off.
Lisa, on the other hand, is doing quite well for herself as she has become president. We get a brief scene with Lisa in a meeting to discuss a budget shortfall, where it's revealed that it's been inherited from President Trump.
Where's the
I
bit?
do know we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
We're broke.
The episode aired in 2000, and in 2016, Trump would be elected. Following Trump's election, the show had a chalkboard gag stating, "Being right sucks."
Oh, that's why they said that being right sucks, because it's like, oh yeah, like, they were right about Trump becoming president, and then he did.
Before we continue, be
I didn't even show it.
sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified
Hang
about
on,
our
what's
latest...
this last one? Okay, what's this last one? Before I go find it, because I'm going to go find the one
Number
I'm on
1,
about.
USA wins gold in curling.
USA wins gold.
Marge...
Of course they put them number 1. I don't give a deck about... No, I'm joking, that's harsh. Right, bear with me, I'm just going to find the one I'm on about.
The cusp of a new epoch.
Right, I found
One
it,
of
I think.
prophecy, puzzles, and
Look.
signs in the sky.
Sure, this is it. I mean, this is very dodgy quality.
And that epoch begins today.
And the sign drop in there.
Conspiracy.
The sign drop in there. Come on, show the real one. Look, this is the one. Sign drops! And he's going down the lift, man. This one, that one always baffled me as a kid. Like, I say a kid, I must have been an adult by the time he became president. But yeah, when I saw this back, madness. Like, the fact they predicted it. Did that guy purposely drop the sign? You could argue maybe so because he saw the actual episode. But then is he a fan? And I don't know. It's just nuts. Well, that's enough of that madness of predictions. Yeah, I mean, there's some I didn't even realise or clock there. Some little ones and then some bigger ones. I mean, let me know if there's any you didn't see in here that they have predicted that you thought was even more mad than this. Maybe I can react to some more another time. But if you did like this, then be sure to bash that like button. And if you want to see more, well, what are you doing? Come on, wallop that subscribe button. But until the next one, I'll see you all in a bit. Cheers for watching and peace.